Hey everyone, I am Josie, and today I'm going to be talking about Ascension symptoms and kind of how I've been doing, what I've been going through, and just trying to share my piece of the puzzle, and also just trying to help myself, Josie. So, yeah. Today is Saturday. What's today? The 13th, I think, of June. Yeah. And wow, I know a lot of things have happened, like globally. Like there's been, well, first let me just get into myself. Recently I hurt my sacral spine, neck, and head. So the very delicate areas, the very, like the literal core of my being, I hurt, and I was really hurt because I just, I had to go through this hurt, and I had to be paralyzed. It's just some kind of upgrades that I'm experiencing, and some sort of like self-sabotage for like not being satisfied or something, or yeah. And I feel like sometimes we have to hurt ourselves, not saying to hurt ourselves, but sometimes we hurt ourselves to heal further and deeper, because we're already in the place of healing, so it gives us the opportunity to rest and to heal. So I was in that place recently, and it was just like the most uncomfortable pain I've ever felt in my entire life in regards to pain. I've never broken a bone, but this type of pain was like in the center of my entire body, and it felt so strange, and I didn't want to be in my body. So it was, I'm still learning a lot from this, but it was just like, oh, it was just terrible. So I'm glad I'm better, and I'm gonna find a chiropractor. But that's what I've been going through, and what a weird time to experience that. I never thought I would ever experience something like that. Yeah, and then, so every time I stretch my heart recently, I get dizzy. And this could be from past heartache, and then just doing the actual stretches, like in going back like this, like I get to a point where I'm so dizzy, like I forget like where I am and like where my body is, and it's very strange. But the heart is really working with my body. It's hurting for a reason, so that it can open again, and so that it can keep opening and keep opening and keep healing. Because when I did hurt my spine, my heart was hurting like a lot. It was because I think it couldn't take the other pain that was in my body, and my heart's like, oh, this other pain is like crazy. So a lot of that was like energetic, you know. I'm talking about energy too, because the heart is energetic. It's a vortex. It's not just a pump. We just had wrong information about our heart, learning about it. So yeah, and then I also I've been connecting a lot to the Pleiades, our brothers and sisters of Pleiades, and specifically Tegeta. And they have such a beautiful, intelligent, loving heart frequency. And there's many kinds of star seeds from Pleiades, but specifically Tegeta. I woke up, I was in Mexico. I was actually sleeping in the Mexico airport, and I woke up at 5 a.m. to go early to get my flight. And at 5, when I woke up, I heard the words so clearly when I woke up, Tegeta. And that night I had a dream that I was talking to a woman. Maybe she was from Tegeta, but she just looked like a human. She wasn't wearing a blue suit. But yeah, I don't remember too much about that, but I remember the words very clearly in my vision and just in my aura, in my field, the word Tegeta. So I looked it up, and then I was like, okay, learning about the goddess. But most importantly, I learned about the family of light, the family of Tegeta, which is, there's a beautiful woman named Judith and her son, Cobb, who Judith channels the Pleiadians because she's a queen, she's a goddess on Tegeta, or Tegeta. And then her son helps her to just further deliver the messages, which is a really great power team to just be in, which is awesome. And so they're here assisting us and helping us to remember that frequency of ours. And so as I started to connect to them more and more and more, I had a dream that I was viewing myself from above in a white spaceship talking to someone from Tegeta. And yeah, it's like long blonde hair, a man, long blonde hair, blue suit. And there I am just talking to him on this like white couch, sort of, yeah. I don't know what we were talking about exactly, but my higher self received what it needed to, and it's pretty cool that our larger self just understands, and then it's just integrating and slowly processing in the human if we're like not meant to hear it yet, or but just viewing that was really cool, I thought. And then I've been also experiencing a lot of Yeshua. So usually I call on him whenever I'm like in the mud, down in the mud, and he always appears in my feeling. I feel him, and then usually that night I dream of him. Not all the time, but for example, one time I was feeling low, and then he appeared with Bigfoot. And it was just their silhouette, and I knew it was him, and I knew it was Bigfoot. I just had a knowing that it was him, though they appeared in their presentation to me as a dark silhouette to make me feel comfortable, because if they showed me like what they really looked like, I think it would be too much for me. So they're kind enough to do this and make it comfortable for me. This is what our star family, this is what our guides do, is they appear to things that make us feel comfortable. Yeah. And and then when I was having a lot of pain one day in my neck, I was just like, Source, this is too much. This is too much. Affirm, this is too much. And then I slept that night, and I dreamt that I met him, and we were shaking hands. And he was also watching the show of ships that were showing themselves. So there's a big mothership, and then there was purple other ships in the background with purple lights. This mothership was just big, and I think it was like, I don't know, I think it was like chrome or black. It was huge in the front, and then as it flew away, there were purple lights in the background. So maybe those were Arcturians? I don't know. But the huge ship was like, it could have been like a mixture of beings. I don't know. Maybe they're Pleiadian. I don't know. Eventually, when they left, I saw Yeshua walk down, and I was talking to him like, how are you? And are you okay? And then he held my hand. So basically I'm talking to myself saying, are you okay? Because I was going through a lot. So, and then he guided me. We went to sit down, and then my parents asked him, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Or whatever. That kind of sort of question. And he was like, I go on, I do marathons here. And then I also do marathons hiking. And my vision of that was like up in the mountains hiking, like Tibet or something. Yeah. And then, and then he walked away. We said bye, and he went like in the water away. Like he went into the water, and I didn't see him come out, and I woke up. So it's very normal to communicate with ascended masters, to communicate with fairies, to communicate with beings of light. It's very, very, very common and normal. So, yeah, especially now. It's very normal. So, yeah. More starseeds will start to experience this, and each experience is different, and that's why I love listening to other people's experiences. Oh yeah, and then I was seeing my golden self. So let me see what I wrote. Hang on. Oh yeah. So I don't know what I did, but anyways, every night feels like every day, like every start to the day when I wake up, it feels like I was just gone through a huge upgrade. That's how every day has been feeling recently. Is when I go to bed, I'm like receiving a lot of upgrades, and then I wake up, and then sometimes it's like a lot, and I'm like I still don't feel rested, and then sometimes I wake up and I'm like ready to go, like I'm like woo, ready to start the day. So that's how every day has been feeling, and don't remember every time. Yeah. And so this golden self that I saw, I was looking down at my body, and I was just completely golden light, and I think I like switched around to like do a 360 and look at myself, and I was golden light, and I was holding a vintage perfume bottle with a little puff squeezer, you know, and I was just holding that. So yeah, it was pretty fun to see that. And then yeah, I've been seeing also fairies. I've been seeing the fae, and how they're appearing to me is they're appearing as little itty bitty sparks of light, little itty bitty sparks. So it's like you're just staring and say at the horizon, and then in the corner of your eye, just over here, just over there, you see sparkle, sparkle. And that's how they're appearing to me. They're just playing with me, and they're popping in and out of their portals, and they're appearing, and they're coming, and they're going, and they just want to show themselves to me. So it's been really fun. I see them around. My friend who has just such a big mind. He's got a big mind. And yeah, I saw one near his face, and then one above him. But that's the closest I've seen them to like actual person. Usually it's just like in the air. Usually it's just like on the wall, like in the room or something. But I've seen it on that guy's face. Yeah, I love the fairies. I'm learning that they're connected to the Pleiades, and their intelligence actually helped the majority of the ships to work. The ships wouldn't be the ships that they are like if it wasn't for the fairies, if it wasn't for the fae technology. So yeah, usually they are little sparks of light. Yeah, they're like little sparkles of light, and they just pop in and out. Okay, yeah, so I wrote a list down. I'm looking at my list down here. Maharic shield meditation. That is super powerful. This is not just imagining something in your meditation. When you start to imagine, you start to connect to the actual architecture of your energy field and what is meant to protect it yourself, what is meant to energize yourself. And this is like something that my guides have guided me to. I don't even know how I came across it, but I know that I found something, and then I know it's good. Like, I just keep sticking to it. So basically what the Maharic shield meditation is, what I've learned so far, is it is your pillar of light that is silver, like platinum silver, and this is just inherently in our, you could say, genetic makeup, genetic field. This is what we're supposed to be knowing and connecting to. And it exists in the earth, in the core of the earth. And you connect to the silver lining light in the core of the earth, and you shoot it up, and you connect it upward to source. And so while you do this, you're imagining the Merkaba, which is the six-pointed star. I think you could do it, you could imagine it six-pointedly or two-dimensional. Yeah. But either way, you're connecting to it. And I like to also do golden light around me. I don't know if that's a part of it, but I know I keep reading about this silver light. And there are platforms that you create below you and above you, discs. And that kind of like seals your light, seals your field. And so it just feels so powerful because you have a stream of silver light, and then the silver light is connected to the 10th and the 11th and the 12th dimension. So the ones that are pretty higher up there. And I think those ones have not been infiltrated, not messed with. I think they've been the purest, and they're just the same as they've always been. And the other frequencies have been altered with and messed with and changed and altered, and there's a lot of wrong things, so we have to like fix them and heal it, or so yeah, and that's been really helping me a lot, is to do that like as much as I can. The Maharic shield meditation, maybe I'll make one once I keep on practicing it. So yeah. And then now I want to talk about all the things that have been happening on the earth that are just kind of pretty big news. So one of them being that all of the pyramids on the earth have been activated. And this is a pretty big deal because we have pyramids that used to be working in the way that they were supposed to be working, but it's like they've been turned off. Not turned off completely, but they just been kind of dormant for a long time. And this is what I mean by they've been activated now. All of them. I think all of them. Egyptian pyramids, the pyramids of Mexico, even Cahokia mounds, I believe. You can look it up, and they all had a they all had a pulse, a beat at 3:33 a.m. at 33 hertz, or I don't know what you want, the terminology you want to use, but they had a beat. And so if these pyramids are activated, then it has to be affecting us in some kind of way, right? And maybe that has to do with the earthquakes that we're getting now in areas like Thailand, and little tremors here and there in different parts of the land. So the earth is shaking. The earth is shaking. Yeah. I remember I had a dream. I don't know if it's just because I'm here, and like I keep there's a lot of words around me that say Thailand, but I dreamt one night that I just boldly saw the words Thailand, and I just kept dreaming it and going down Thailand and see where it was bringing me. And then I heard recently that there's these earthquakes in Thailand, but anyways, yeah. I've been also taking a lot of naps, so because there's so much high frequencies coming through the sun, I've been taking so many naps. Like, it's like some days it just like wipes me out. Sometimes it's just like it just takes me out, and I just have to lay down and I just have to let my guides work on me. I have to just let my body process what it's processing. Yeah, that's how it is. High energy takes me out. So, yeah, and then I've also been I've been playing with singing and dancing to keep my vibration very high. I'm always doing that. I've also been painting. That's kind of been new. I've been given lots of opportunities to paint, so I've been just taking them, been painting as much as I can. Now I want to talk about New Jerusalem. So, New Jerusalem is, from what I've learned, it is where we go when we ascend. And now I don't want to like talk so much about this because I don't want to fully like be there, because all that matters right now is this right here. Though I do just want to have it in this video and in my awareness. And it is, yeah, so it is a mothership that has a city of light, and it talks about this in Revelations. And we go there when we ascend, and supposedly our family, our brothers and sisters of the light that have ascended and passed over, are there, and the ascended masters, and Yeshua's on there. And remember, beings of light can be multiple places at once. They can be bi-local. Is that the word, bi-local? Yeah. So, and I'll share my part of this experience. Is I was on a mountain one day at night, and I was looking at the star. I was looking at a bright light in the sky. And I was trying to figure out what it was because of how bright it was. I remember saying, no, que brillante. It was so bright. I for sure thought it was a spaceship. I knew it was. It was so bright. But then me and my friends were like, because we were all looking at it together, I was like, wait, it's not moving, guys. It's not moving. And they're like, oh yeah, it's not moving. It's a star. And then we were like laughing at ourselves. But I was like, okay, so then I believed, I can't believe I doubted myself, I know. And then I believed it was a star. And so then later on, I saw a picture that was shared in a group. And this picture has a picture of New Jerusalem spaceship from the Hubble Space Telescope. You can look it up. And had a lot of information about New Jerusalem. And it said that it is parked right in front of Venus. So the star that I was looking at, I thought was Venus. First I thought it was a spaceship, and then I thought it was Venus because it was stationary. And now I read this this diagram, like, I don't know, a month later, 3 months later or something, that it's New Jerusalem parked in front of Venus. So it started to make more sense to me. I was like, okay, if that's what it is, then this makes sense because of what my eyes were seeing. My eyes were telling me it was a spaceship. And yeah, so that's a little bit of information on New Jerusalem. It's a lot of really high frequencies that are awaiting us, and that is just, yeah, it's literally waiting for us. And New Jerusalem, yeah. New Jerusalem. And New Jerusalem has me thinking about, it had me thinking about Israel, and then it had me thinking of Jacob, because I've been seeing a lot of the words Jacob. And Jacob, from what I've listened from the family of light of Tegeta, they said that Jacob was talking to Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael said that your name is going to be changed to Israel. And I've never heard of that before. Jacob's ladder. Now it's got me thinking about my spine. So feel like Jacob has something to do with it. I don't know. New Jerusalem, Israel. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and then I wrote down that I've been running into walls. I've been doing this all my life, though. I don't know why I wrote this down. Because, I don't know. I think it's just like comes with like being like ungrounded for 2 seconds, and then you think you can go through walls, and then you're hitting them, or you're hitting things. Yeah, I just think I can go through walls, I guess. Yeah. And then there's this disclosure movie, which is, it's so weird because I feel like they're playing with our amnesia. They're playing with our amnesia because we signed up to have the amnesia. And so when we're watching like a story with some truths, it's confusing to the human, and I don't know, it just feels weird. It just felt weird to watch. I mean, there was a lot of truths in it about the crashings at the Roswell crashings, when there was a whole bunch of crashings on purpose to connect with humans, the Greys, to connect with humans, and then they were not ready to receive them, so they interrogated them and they tasered them over and over and over. Yeah, I don't know. I think that what I believe is that the real disclosure happens when we start to connect to just ourselves, and just feeling into what is unlocking DNA to you. What does that mean to you? We're doing that individually. So, yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I was gonna say. And they also make it seem really weird, like that that people who are remembering who they are looks a certain way, and it almost feels like they're like putting it in a box, or they're making it look like it's gonna look this way, and I don't know, it just feels really weird to watch. Yeah. I'm very grateful where I am, and where I am in my process, even though things can be bumpy and there's a lot of uncertainty. The continuous looking at the horizon has been helping me, and seeing what I've got going next, and then just to trust that whatever happens will happen at the right time for me. Because I feel like as a priestess, as a goddess, we constantly want to oversee and analyze and just track everything, and or not track everything, but just analyze and just try to answer everything and ask and receive, But at one point, I just feel like you have to just surrender and completely, and just melt in not knowing, and then that feels really good, because you are just in the flow of not knowing. So, yeah. I got my nails painted this cosmic galactic blue. And then this one. This is galactic arrowhead heart Endara blue cosmic galactic radiate bright Endara frequency Arcturus. And yeah, every time I see this blue now, I just think of Tegeta. But anyways, Yeah, I made this one. And I got these are matching. So I'm really in this frequency blue right now. I've always kind of been into it, but just recently I've been like really loving it. Yeah. And it's weird because being on this path, there's a constant back and forth of wanting to be understood and then having to realize that it's actually better to not be understood, because it feels more sane to not be understood than to be understood, because a woman is always changing, transforming. Even if you think you know what she is, even if you have a slightest guess of who she is, what she is, who she's becoming, immediately she'll change, because she's always changing. She is diverse. She is many different archetypes and flavors and textures and colors and sounds and instruments. And when you, like, I feel like a gift to the goddess is when you see that she is always unfolding, and then she's never like fully like arrived as something, because she's everything. She is always in the unknown. I feel like once you give her that gift of, okay, I'm gonna just like let you be whatever you are, new to me every time, because I don't know where you're going, and she doesn't either. She doesn't know what kind of light she's going into, but it's light, it's bright, and it's sometimes dark, and sometimes it's dark, and it's dark for a good reason, to heal and grow through things. And so giving her that gift, when you see her that she's in the unknown, and when you see that that is her magic, she's unknown, she is always in the unknown, that is when you have found her. There she is. So yeah. And then I feel like I have a responsibility to talk about and say that the psychic attacks that a lot of us experience, a lot of us, especially starseeds, we're becoming more aware, and discernment and just being aware is a superpower right now when it comes to these forces, because they don't want you to access your light. They don't want you to access your sensuality, because that is creation, that is life force energy, and the reptilians really don't like it. So once you are celibate, once you are connected to the divine, and you are disciplining yourself in a devotional way to source, you start to go through these psychic attacks as like a test. And yeah, I mean, they're always kind of there if you're like in a negative space. They kind of just want to like attach to you, and that's when you have to I feel like you can't avoid it. It's just inevitable, and it's just always gonna happen to humans, like I guess now, just as an experience, just as to grow and learn here. So it's like you can't avoid it, but you can like go around it. You can start to be more lucid in your dreams when you see them. You can start to like attack back with your light. You can learn ways, but I feel like they're always just going to be there. Like currently, if we're in a low place, or if we start to access more of who we are, they'll be like right there, like, argh. And it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work, because we're remembering how powerful we are, and that's real. Yeah, for 26,000 years, around that, we haven't ascended past like the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension. Well, yeah, the sixth dimension. So to be able to go past the sixth dimension would be really great. And yeah. They can come through as thought forms. They can sidetrack you. As for example, right now I just forgot what I was going to talk about. So just like a mind wipe, or like, yeah, just a lot of mind energy. They exist a lot in the mind energy. That's what I've noticed. And I feel like I could make a video about this because there's a lot to talk about, and how to protect yourself, and then what it looks like when they come through, and how to spot them and things like that. I'm still learning myself. Like, I still like am like not aware sometimes, and then sometimes I am aware, and I win. Sometimes like I lose, and sometimes I win. When I lose, I mean like I give my power to them and I get angry, or I get angry for like a really low reason. It's not angry for a good like processing reason. It's angry like in like they're trying to like siphon my energy with the anger or with the sadness or something low, and then I'm allowing them to. So that's what happens when we allow. We give our power away, unless it's like different with yourself and you're regulating your emotions. Self-regulation is different. That's different because it's like intentional, and it is to come out better. And the other way is when you're just not thinking, and you just keep looping and mind looping with the past or with the old things, and you know that is not you. That's not you. That is them. That is them working through the thoughts and just trying to get you there. Or your past experiences keep getting you there. But that's not you. So noticing that is good. The more I can do that is good. Yeah. Merlin talks about there being like a darkness, and a lot of us don't know that there's like light. You just have to stick around, and then you'll see that there's stars in the sky. Stick around, because first there'll be the funny faces, and there'll be the dark thoughts, and there'll be the things in the dark, and the images and the things there. They'll be there. It's a test to see if you will go through, because once you get to the other side, you do see the light. You do see the visions that you wanted to get and receive. But the darkness and the silly faces and the thought forms are going to be there before you see the vision of light as a test. So it's kind of tricky, because some people, they kind of give in to that test, and they don't pass the test, and they go through the past and the negative thought forms, and they don't stick around to see the light because it's already, it's too dark, and then they dip and they leave. But some people stick around, and then they're able to see through the illusion, which is just like this facade. It's just like, it could be like a funny face, it could be a thought form, it's just something silly and stupid and just in your face. It's kind of annoying. It's like a fly, you just swat it away. It's a bully. They can't hurt you, they can't touch you unless you give them your power. So yeah. And then if you stick around, it's beautiful and glorious and wonderful, the things that you're meant to receive that are inherently yours. Yeah. So yeah, we're getting our memories back, and it's very exciting because everything is new, and we're also just remembering. Everything's just like remembering. But it's also meant to like be fun in the process too, you know? It's meant to be exciting and fun, and yeah, I think that's all I had to say on that. I think whatever timeline you're in, if it has the majority of the energies are going forward for you, that's your choice. That's a good thing. And if the timelines are like, I don't know, maybe in a low place again, or if it's kind of feeling stuck, maybe it's showing you that for a reason. And then we're asked to look at the highest timeline. So yeah, I think that's it. I think I don't have anything to say. When I start talking so much, I just feel like at one point I'm done. So I'm done.